He was listed as Clarendon's most wanted in recent days. Fitzroy Core, one of the parish's most wanted men, cut down by the police. Hi again and welcome. This is Links 007 TV. Let's talk. And we're about to discuss this on the program. We'll ask you, please remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell and click on all so you're always notified whenever we post new videos. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back and thanks for joining us for the program. This is Links 007 TV. Let's talk. So we're about to discuss the taking out of one of Clarendon's most wanted individual, Fitzroy Core. He was just 26 years old. He goes by the alias OJ. His last known address was Alexandra Drive in Farm, and that's in Clarendon. And he was wanted by the police for murder and wounding with intent. This individual would have just been in the prime of his life, and his life cut short based on the fact that he chose a life of violence and a life that could have turned out otherwise for him only if he had taken the path, a path that would lead him into a positive direction. One have to wonder why these young individuals are choosing a path of crime. He definitely won't be the first, and he certainly won't be the last, until we can find the real cause or the real underlying factor why these young, bright, promising young men are turning to a life of crime and violence. We're gonna have a consistent problem of police listing these individuals as wanted. Some of the time people might say it's a lack of employment and it's a lack of certain resources that are causing these individuals to turn to crime. But I believe it is way more than that is causing the spates of crime and violence in our country. Because some of the time these individuals, they are not as broke as they seem. Most of the time they have a certain level of wealth based on their criminal network that they organize. And some of the times they could have turned their life around. But guess what? The money become too sweet. And they decided that this is a path that they want to traverse on for the rest of their life. When I see young men, lives being taken at such a tender age, based on the fact that they choose a life to live that is not good, and then the police in turn have no other choice but to take them out. It's very sad. And it's sad to see how many of them have lost their life through this fashion, and it's really puzzling to see what's going on in our country. It's like the most plagued individuals right now are the ones that are wreaking havoc on people are between the ages of 16 to 30 years old. And this is very sad, because this should have been the age gap where these people are gainfully employed and contributing to the development of our country. But instead, these are the ones that are bringing up the murder statistic in our country. So we're going to discuss this individual who goes by the name Fitzroy Core, who was recently taken out by the police. He was described as one of Maypen's most wanted individual, and he was actually taken out by the cops just a few days after he was listed as a person of interest. So the police have provided more details about the operation that led to the fatal shooting of one of Clarendon's most wanted individual, Fitzroy Core. And this incident took place in Manchester on Sunday. So reports are that about 6 p.m. on December 27, an intelligence-driven operation led by members of the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Division (CTOC) went to a premises in the community of Mayday in Manchester in search of the 26-year-old Kaur, otherwise called OJ. So he's actually from Farm in Clarendon and he was found in Manchester. That seemed as if he was hiding out from the cops in Maypen, but somehow they got some intel and they went in search of him, and this was the end. So upon the arrival of the police reportedly announced themselves as being police officers and asked the occupants of the house or the dwelling to exit the premises and surrender. Kaur is said to have been in the vicinity of the house and came out on the veranda using two females as human shield. The cops sought to apprehend him, but he engaged an officer in a tussle. So he decided that he was not giving up without a fight, and he tried his best in order to elude capture. But this tussle went otherwise. So during the tussle, Kaur reportedly pulled a firearm from his waistband and pointed it at one of the officers. The officer took evasive action and fired shots in Kaur's direction, hitting him multiple times all over the body. Kaur was taken to the nearby hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. A 9mm handgun was taken from him, the police stated. Kaur was reportedly a top-tier member of the Effortville-based Lion Paw gang, as well as a member of the Buckscammon and Buckner gang, according to the police. At the time he was taken out, he was said to have been a notorious violence producer who was formerly wanted for a murder and shooting with intent charge. Intelligence gathered by the local authorities said that Kaur was actively planning to launch an attack in the Effortville community in reprisal for a double murder that took place there. Kaur was also wanted for the August 22, 2019 murder of Maleno Marsh, otherwise called Mullins, and Stephen Sharp, otherwise called Sean or Percy, and the wounding with intent of a 2-year-old girl in that incident. He was also a person of interest in relation to at least 11 other murders and 4 shootings in the Clarendon area alone. He was said to have been an integral member of the criminal network that was known to be operating in the parish of Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, and St. Catherine. On previous occasions, Kaur managed to elude police dragnets that were intended to bring him into custody for offenses dating back to as far as 2015. The Deputy Commissioner of Police, Mr. Fitzbailey, has commended detectives from CTOC and the National Intelligence Bureau as well, and the Clarendon Police. He also took the time to commend the Jamaica Defence Force for their support and laud their efforts and describe it as an excellent investigative skills that were used in order to conduct this search for this wanted individual. He stated while it was their intention to apprehend Kaur once again and bring him before the courts, he is actually pleased with the work and investigations on the ground. They have been tracking the activities of this individual for several years, now interrupting his criminal activities along the way. Their excellent investigation gave us pinpoint accuracy as to the whereabouts of one of the most feared violence producers in Clarendon. Thankfully, he is no longer a threat to the lives and livelihoods of people in Jamaica, the Deputy Commissioner stated in a release. So this was one of Jamaica's most wanted and Clarendon's most feared individual. 26-year-old individual could have been one of the prominent figures of our country, could have been someone that was contributing to the development of our country. Now his life cut short because he chose a life of violence, a life of crime, a life that let his own life cut short. This has been Links 007 TV. Let's talk. You can just drop it in the comment section and just let me know how you feel about this story. But trust me, it's a sad one to report on. Young promising youth could have done something better with his life. I'm out for now. Peace out and blessed.